Well, hello and welcome to Knife Delights and welcome to another 2 for Tuesday. Yeah, 2 for Tuesday, that easy open tag that I invite all channels to participate in. Hey, just grab a couple of knives and talk about them. Well, what do we have on the table here? Well, we got one lone knife. And this is the Squire VI made by Explorer. And I've been finding out some information on this knife, and I'll have more to share with you later in the video. But this was with Randy's traveling box of knives, and when I first saw it, I says, I've seen that knife before. And I'll tell you what, it is so close to this special limited edition Buck 500, the Duke, and look at the similarities there. Well, we're going to be comparing both of these wonderful knives here in just a minute, but I did see that this knife, well, you know what, I think it could use a good soak in the mineral oil. Let's let that mineral oil work its magic there on the bone, and we can wipe these off and get them a little bit shinier than that. So I just wanted to initially get this video started and show you this wonderful knife before I put it into the mineral oil. Well, here she is after a little mineral oil soak, and you can see that that blade looks so much cleaner there. Again, I'm not going to try to polish that because you don't want to remove the etching there on it. But just look at how just a soak really does clean things up. Bolsters look better, and look at the stag. Now, when I first pulled this out of the box of knives from Randy, I misidentified it. I thought it was bone. I thought it was like a bone stag, you know, bone made to look like stag. But I did find an old advertisement, and I'll throw that up on the screen here real quick. And this is from an old ad from this knife company. It looks like they were selling new old stock. We can see the price was $59.95 for this. But I believe that, again, they're like selling old stock. This knife, from everything I can find out about it, it looks like it came out sometime in the 1980s. And I have no idea what it originally cost. But as you can see, it's described as a vintage 80s 11-386 Explorer, IMAI Seki Japan, 4.37 inches, Stag Squire VI lockback knife. So it's always kind of nice when you can find an advertisement like this just to confirm what you're holding or what you have here. This looks to be a very well-made knife. It really does. Before we pull the buck out, I thought, you see these bolsters here, could maybe use a little polish, but we're not even going to use a Dremel on it. We're just going to do it the old-fashioned way. Take a little bit of flitz here, and let's just see if we can polish them up just a little bit. This knife will eventually end up with Sean at Watch City Knives, so Sean, you should have yourself a really nice clean knife here. Nice and shiny looking. So sometimes you don't need any kind of a power tool. They're basically, the bolsters are basically in good condition. Maybe a few little scratches here and there. Just rub that on. We're going to let it dry, set it back aside. And now, let's get out the Duke again. I'd put it up. There's the Duke. And again, it's a limited edition. It comes in the yellow box. You see down here, it says Model 500 Duke, FG for finger grooved, stag, made in the USA. And it's number 115. And inside the box here, you can see it even came with this special belt sheath here. Isn't that fancy? 500 custom. I've often said, you know, you put this on your when you're going out for your Saturday night dance and you're all duded up. You can imagine having this on your belt. Woohoo! Oh, the ladies would be all over you, wouldn't they? So, and this Duke is one of my crown jewels of my buck collection. And then there's various paperwork that goes in here too. You can see it's rather old because this is back when Al Buck was chairman of the board. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know if this is from the 70s or 80s. I'm just not sure. Because it's custom, it doesn't have the date symbol on it. But we can look at the stag. Now, when I bought this knife, the man I bought it from told me this was sambar stag. And sambar is from a deer over in India. And it's supposed to be some of the finest stag in the world. There was actually a moratorium put on sambar stag because they were running out of it. And I think that has been lifted, and you can knife companies can now start using sambar stag again. But I think for many years, a moratorium on its use. And we can see here it says limited buck grizzly 1 of 250. And again, this is number 117 or 150. Is it 115? Yeah. So this is number 115. One of the crowning jewels or crown jewels of my buck collection. So if we look at the difference in the stag, it does look like the stag on the buck is a little more high quality of a stag. But wow, the similarities are just awesome, aren't they? Yeah. Okay, let's just see how our polish is doing here. Just cleans that right up, doesn't it? Yeah. Might be able to get it to shine up a little better if we use the Dremel, but sometimes it's satisfying just to do things by hand, the old-fashioned way here. Oh, that looks a lot better. Just a lot better. There we go. What do you think, folks? Looks pretty good, don't it? That versus that. So let's hit this side up here real quick. Sean, you're going to end up with a very fine knife here. This is just beautiful. Isn't it amazing? I'd never heard of an Explorer before, but I'll tell you, in the 70s and 80s and such, that time period, there was a lot of wonderful knives that came out of Seki, Japan. Just a lot. And it's funny how knife production has moved. There's a lot of them made in Japan. Then I guess because of costs, things kind of moved to Taiwan for a while. And of course, we know these days that China is the big manufacturer now, overseas manufacturer. It's kind of funny how this, how it all moves around a little bit. A little closer look. That's nice and thick, isn't it? You can see the sambar stag. It's a little thinner inlay there. This is a lot thicker. But yeah, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous knife. So I guess the moral of the story is here, folks, hit them pawn shops, hit them antique stores. You never know what you're going to find. Now, if the antique dealer knows what he has with a knife like this, you know, they might have a $50 or $60 price tag on it. But sometimes you get very fortunate and you walk in there and they got $15 on it or something, because they don't even really know what they have. And you can come away with a steal. I know I got a what's called a Timberwolf 3, a small lockback with bone. I paid $10 or $15 for it, and it's a gorgeous little lockback knife. And it was made in Japan also. Probably the same time period as this. This is the one thing that just fascinates me in the cutlery world. There are just so many of these knives that are out there that are just waiting to be discovered. Of course, this has a 440A. Am I reading that right? Or no, it just says 440 stainless. And the buck is the standard 420 HC. Well, you know what? As old as this buck is, it may not be 420. It might be before they switched to the 420. But they're pretty similar steels here. I'm going to just see if I can't. A little film on there yet. See if we can get rid of some of that film. So yeah, this one's all nice and lubed up. Oh, that looks better, don't it? These are fingerprint magnets. You can get them all shined up, and the next thing you know, you got fingerprints all over it. Just a little more film off of there. There you go, Sean. How does that look to you? Wow. See how I got fingerprints and film on this? It's so easy. Get them all shined up. We look at the blades here. Got hollow ground on the buck. It looks like a flat grind here on the Explorer. Yeah. I'll tell you what. If I didn't have this, I'd be proud to have this one. This is a nice looking knife. Very nice looking. Well, I got to hurry along because I got to get these knives of Randy's boxed up and onto the next channel. So by the time you see this, and this 2 for Tuesday, the box should be on its way, or maybe even to Ray at North Star Knife Reviews. So make sure and check out Randy's box of knives and Ray's review of them. And until next time, have a very delightful day.